My name is Katie Skillington. I'm a lecturer in architectural design at the University of Melbourne.
My name is Sofia Colabella, and I was just promoted senior lecturer in architectural technology at the Melbourne School of Design.
We're just two researchers that like waste.
Absolutely. This is a first experiment on the ways we can upcycle neoprene instead of downcycling it.
There is a team of about 4 research assistants who helped fabricate the walls themselves, so the stud frames, but also the wetsuit blankets, which is what we call them. For us, one of the definitions of success for us is impact. So, positive impact. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's an outcome that gets an award. It doesn't necessarily mean it's an outcome that everyone lavishes praise on us, but it's like, what tangible change are we making to society, or what ideas are we provoking, or what conversations are we trying to further? So for us, that's the wins that we're trying to get out of our research agendas and our research projects. And I think personally, I'm really glad that we've been a part of this, because it is very much a collective who seems to have that common mission of we do need to create a more circular society. We need to rethink the way that we are consuming resources and consuming products. Sophia's the lead for this. When she first proposed it to me, I was like, yeah, I think it will be good. And then when I started seeing it to come together, I was like, no, this is actually going to look pretty cool. And then on the day of the opening, I was like, this looks awesome. So we both teach construction, and we're both architects by trade. And Sophia's worked as a carpenter, and I used to work in construction for set design in theatre. So we already had that practical knowledge of how to work with timber and how to build. We just made them simple stud frames so they could be repurposed either in the future at the end of the Circular Design Collective, or we can retain them and store them in a space-efficient way in the future.
The fast assembly was one of our goals.
How long did it take? About a month and a half from start to finish in terms of manufacture, but there was a lot of planning that probably took about 2 months prior.
Yeah, even more than that. Basically, the idea was that we had to give our research assistants a chance to work very fast as possible. And therefore, we had to produce all the drawings, and everything else had to be already prepared beforehand.
The cutting up of the wetsuits was probably the phase I enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
Because it's particularly the used wetsuits. So when you disassemble the wetsuit, it's like your colour sorting, your thickness sorting, because you're trying to work out like where they should go with each other and marry up. And we had very little scrap left over. We have used pretty much every part of the wetsuits that we were given, and every piece of scrap we were given.
So the idea was to combine both colours and shapes, but also the thickness is very different.
The pink ones were the first ones that we made, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
These ones are all new pieces because they come from the offcuts, while instead, for example, that one there is made primarily from discarded wetsuits. It's an opportunity to showcase the value of waste, to make the reuse of waste, cycling waste, visible to everybody.
Sophia has a legacy of working with sports equipment and waste a lot more than I do. What I learned through this project was just how significant of an environmental burden textile waste is in Australia. I think one of the best aspects of this opportunity is it's given us space to experiment, which is really challenging to do sometimes in a university context. Space is at a premium in our current campus, and this has given us the opportunity to install something, see how it goes, see whether or not the ideas are feasible, and also provide an environment for other creators to come together.